Welcome, everyone, to the first coffee hour of the academic year 2015-16. We have an exciting academic year this year for the Fellows Program. And as you can see on the screen, these are all the locations where Coleman Fellows are situated across the nation. And it's really fascinating to see all of us come together once a month. We had a wonderful in-person, face-to-face meeting at the summit. This is a continuation of that effort to build a community of practice. And one of the things that we always value is your participation as a Coleman Fellow, as a Coleman campus, and to sort of ensure and encourage that every time we do a coffee hour, we do a roll call. So I'm going to do that, and as we see the map, we can identify who you are. Is Beloit College represented? Beloit
yes,
College?
we're here.
Thank you. Cal State Fresno?
Here. We're here.
Thank you. Colorado Mesa? Georgianne, are you there?
Yes,
Colorado Mesa. Okay, thank you. Canisius College?
I'm here.
Great. DePaul?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes,
okay,
we're all here.
Great, thank you. Elon?
We're here.
Yeah, great, thank you. UMass, I think you said you're here. IIT, I saw Nick and the campus group is there. ISU? Anyone from ISU on the call? Illinois State? Okay. Lawrence Tech, I think Don is here.
We're here.
Milliken?
Hi, Joe. We're here.
Okay, thank you. North Central is here. SLU is here. Stetson? Stetson? Anyone from Stetson on the call?
We're here.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. TCU?
We're here.
Thank you. UNCG, I saw the group. Thank you for that. Webster is there. Wichita State.
Here.
And WPI is there. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I know it almost feels like you're in class, but the idea of having everybody on the call is important to the foundation. And so thank you for bearing and putting up with this and joining and spending time with us this morning. So the agenda for today is we had a number of fellows and I believe one or two directors and Jerry Katz from SLU go down to the experiential classroom that is organized by Mike Morris in Florida. And there were several aha moments that happened at this event. And we wanted to share or give an opportunity for fellows who were at the experiential classroom this year, which happened recently, to share with the rest of the faculty as to what interesting moments that they discovered. And it's all oriented towards teaching entrepreneurship. So I wanted to invite some of the volunteers who were at the experiential classroom and wanted to share some of their thoughts and experiences with the community of practice. So let's start with Becky. Becky, are you there? From SLU. Rebecca? Rebecca from SLU. Okay, let's go to Georgianne. Georgianne?
Hi, I am here. I just can't get our video working. I think it's working on one piece, but not on the others, but that's okay.
That's okay.
I'm not that good to look at, so you're better off just hearing me. So we went down to Florida. I'm telling you, it was a great experience, and everybody that always comes back says that, and I think, yeah, whatever. And I've been teaching entrepreneurship for 20 years and doing entrepreneurship, and it was a really good experience in that you get actual things that you could use. So a couple of takeaways were that the people down there were so passionate, and they've been teaching entrepreneurship for a long time. I've gone to academic conferences, and it's usually everybody posturing, but these guys were passionate about getting entrepreneurship taught in a meaningful way in different places. The other takeaway I got, and just from my perspective of being in the industry for so long, was the old guys, and I don't mean to say that, but the people that have been doing this for so long were really open-minded on change. They were really ready to embrace new things that are happening in ways of teaching entrepreneurship. And that was kind of my aha moment when one of the original textbook writers for entrepreneurship was willing to embrace anything that people were talking about and discussed, like the lean startup things and the business model canvas, and talked about how those tools are good for helping. So that was one of my aha moments, just the passion and the kindness and that people really wanted to further the knowledge in this. The second thing was that I really loved was Jeff Stamp and his creativity, ways of looking at creativity, which was awesome that he came at it with such a scientific background with a PhD in food science, food chemistry, and applied mathematics, and you think, oh, God, this guy's going to be a nerd, and he's like the most creative. You'd think he's from New York City ad agency type. That. Not, I have chemists in here that are offended by me saying that, but that's just my impression. But he was so creative and so had some really good tools for thinking out of the box or expanding your box and perspective.
Asynchronous.
So much in teaching that piece of creativity, and it's more of just perspective. That was awesome. Alex with his enographer, just actual tools of things that I do all the time, but they systemized it in a way that it's really easy to teach. So if anybody gets the chance to go down there, I would definitely go. And I was a cynic, I'm telling you, but I would definitely go, and I really love to thank the Coleman Foundation for sending so many of our people down there, because it really makes a huge difference.
And Georgia, and you mentioned some of the creative exercises that Alex and others do. Can you give us an example of one of those activities that you thought was really cool?
Okay. Remember, it's earlier here, so let me think of my brain.
Okay. Okay, we can come back to you if you want.
Come back to me, and I'll think of which one, because there's so many. Okay.
Okay. So I heard Becky is ready now to share her thoughts. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Hi, everyone. I just want to second that it was an awesome experience. Actually, it was interesting. On my flight down, I ran into Patricia Lee, who's actually from the School of Law here at St. Louis University, and she was attending for the second time. She went to the fifth and thought it was such a good experience that she was paying her own way to go a second time. So I decided what I wanted to share is really the thing I've already implemented into my class that I'm teaching right now. We're talking about how to get children to vaccinate. And so I think it was Jeff Stamp that talked about changing the conversation. But we've been thinking about how to change
not speaking, if you can mute your phones, that'll help the quality of the call. Please mute your phones. Go ahead, Becky. If you can mute your phone till it's your time for speaking, I'd appreciate it. Go ahead, Rebecca. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So that was really it. It was talking. So we've been discussing all week different methods of how we can actually change the conversation and get people really ready to listen to our message and our recommendations, whether it is vaccinations or other conversations that we might be having. That was really what I wanted to share, that it was immediately implementable.
Yeah, that's
a word. So thanks. It was a great experience.
And Jerry, you have been there several years, and you were with the fellows. Do you have anything to add?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you have anything to add for this group of fellows that was there with you?
Well, we actually had a good-sized group, and they had one of the cool things is almost all of them participated in the case class on Saturday morning, which is really sort of like the focal point of the whole thing. So they were working in teams typically of 3, working with classes, and this is a Saturday morning. All these kids are doing it on for extra credit, and they're being videotaped, and there are 2 or 3 of the the graybeards of entrepreneurship in the room working on evaluation forms. So it's a really it's a really intense experience. I think most of our fellows got about 4 minutes of sleep the night before. But they did a really great job, and I think one of the things I was really glad to see was what a wonderful job the fellows did in collaborating. What was really cool about this was you could tell, because a lot of the folks who were doing the training that weren't Coleman Fellows had a little harder time working in a team with 2 other people. But most of the Coleman Fellows are kind of used now to entrepreneurship education as a little bit more of a group activity. And you literally could see, because I had to work on creating the highlights reel, and you could literally see the fellow. Yeah, other people could begin to notice the fellows once I pointed it out to them. And they would say, "Is that a fellow?" And I'd say, "Yeah, how did you tell?" I said, "Well, they just seem to blend with the other people so well." So, I think one of the cool things about the Coleman Fellows program, that with each of these colleges, with the, getting the whole crew together for these sessions, but also for the talking and the other, talking before and after, and also the other sessions we have, I really do think it makes a real difference.
Great, thank you.
Bit to that.
Also, Georgianne, are you ready now with your thoughts?
Yeah. One of the things that Jeff Tamp did that helped with creativity is he threw out a whole bunch of newspapers, and you had to go write down a whole bunch of words and then combine the words in different ways and come up with your own word. Seems like a silly thing, but by the end, these teams had come up with words, and his big deal is to get them into the dictionary. But it was great because you could see how patterns evolved, how combining things evolved into different things, and I think that's a really good exercise, just initial exercise for creativity and then to innovation and how you get new things.
Thank you. And we have Donna Duffy from UNCG also wanted to share some of her thoughts. Donna?
She's not here right now. Maybe she'll be here later, so.
Okay, no problem. We'll catch up with Donna later. And all of the fellows who are at the Experiential Classroom are also posting to the site as to some of their interesting findings or interesting observations. And one of the things that I was not able to go to the Experiential Classroom with the fellows this year, but one of the things that I've always noticed is every year they give out some awards, or like a certificate of achievement. And every year at least 1 or 2 fellows get one of those achievement certificates, or certificate of achievements. And this year we had a fellow from Milliken go, and he actually won 2 awards. And I'm going to throw this out to Milliken and ask Andy to talk about it. Andy?
Yeah, sure. One of our fellows, Eric Martel from physics, won 2 awards this year. He and his team, I think, had the 2nd best score in the simulation that took place. He also won an award for most creative presentation on the teaching experience that you were just talking about, or Jerry was just talking about, rather. And we're proud to have lots of winners from Milliken Experiential Classroom. Last year, I think we had 3 first-place winners in those competitions, all of whom I believe were fellows as well. So.
Yes, I remember that. Great. Well, thank you, and we definitely appreciate your sharing that with the community. And the other thing that I wanted to tie into this conversation is the fellows website. I counted yesterday, we have about 80% of the new fellows registered to the fellows website. And my hope is that in the next few days, we'll have every new fellow in this academic year registered to the site. And if you run into, and as directors, I'm hoping that you will help them with the process. But if there's any technical issues, please feel free to email me. I'll work with them one-on-one. And the process is sort of a two-step process. The first thing that we ask is every fellow use their institution-issued ID or email, not ID, email. So that means an email that ends with a, for example, if it is Beloit College, beloit.edu. And the reason we do that is to cull the list of, so we have a lot of people who want to be part of this site, and it is still a closed group. Not everybody is allowed to use the site as a registered user. There's a public domain part of the public side of the site that they can use, but the registered part of the site is only for the fellows and the benefit of the fellows. So that's the first item. The second one is when a fellow registers, they will get an email asking that they confirm that this is not a robot or a search bot. It is an actual human being. So then they have to confirm that they are a human being. Once that happens, then I get an email and I approve that individual or faculty as a registered user. And then at that point, they do get an email saying, welcome to the fellow site. You can now use, you have all the privileges. And and sometimes that email goes into a junk folder or a trash, so they don't get the notification. So if any of these things seem to be a hiccup or a problem with any of the fellows, especially new ones, please let me know. And I'm hoping that the directors will facilitate this process so that we get everybody on the site connected that way. And there is another piece of information that I want to share with you. We are starting the month of September putting together newsletters for the fellows community of practice. So for example, we will highlight the fellows' achievements. Millikan fellow Eric Martel winning 2 awards at the Exponential Classroom will be part of that. And we are also asking directors or fellows who are interested in writing a column about entrepreneurship or something that they are working on. It could be a course that they are modifying. It could be a lesson plan that they tried out and didn't work. And it doesn't have to be just the best of news or this is a success. Even if it's a failure, we want to hear about it. We want this to be a grassroots effort, a mundane opportunity for, all the good, bad, and the ugly to be able to come out, and the lessons learned from that is what we are hoping for. So we have a comment or a question from Scott Kelly. Scott,
hey,
Elon University.
Yes, I think a couple of our users have signed up, but they haven't been approved yet. Who needs to do that?
I do that as of yesterday morning. There were no unapproved users, so I will check again. If you have confirmed your email, meaning once you register to the site and you get a confirmation email, then you should be able to, that's when I get the notification that there is someone waiting to be approved. So if you can, Scott, have them email me directly, I will work with them to get them approved.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. If there's anyone else on the call that needs any assistance with that, please let me know. I will be happy to work that out with them. And by the way, if there are other comments or questions or thoughts, please feel free to use the raise hand button so we can cue you in as the comments flow. So at this point, I'd like to switch gears and ask one of the new schools. This is the first time UMass Amherst has come on board with the Fellows Program, and wanted to get an update from Burton, who's the director there. So, Burton?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, we have a lot of wins from the program in general, but to keep it on the Coleman front, first I'd like to introduce Betsy Schmidt from Public Policy and Scott Auerbach from Chemistry, who are internally funded fellows. So they weren't able to join us in Chicago, but they are running with the bulls here. So.
Okay. When you speak, can you lean into your, I don't know, you're using a phone, or that'll help.
Yeah, we're testing out a new room. We're in a new building, so bear with us here.
Okay.
Then the other thing, so many of you met BJ Roche, and we're having a great partnership with the College of Journalism here. And so one of the elements that they have found is not a lot of students are actually getting journalism jobs. So the center, through the Coleman and Spirit of the Coleman, we're working with them to, one, create a student-run ad agency, curriculum around that, so that students can begin to develop those types of ventures once they leave UMass.
Now, is it a project within a course, or is it a separate effort without, is it tied to a course or not?
So this is, we're looking for this to be a course starting next semester. And so right now we're just getting the students interested and working with an outside agency to help in that training, and going from basically kind of an internship type setup to a course to a student-run organization along with a course / programming.
Okay, and is this going to be part of a club? Do you have an entrepreneurship club or CEO club on campus?
We have an entrepreneurship club, but this will kind of be its own entity that will be tied to not only providing being the ad agency for the Bertha Hume Center for Entrepreneurship, but will be a resource that we offer all UMass startups for marketing tools.
Okay. I think there was a comment or a question from Elon. Go ahead.
Yes, hi. At Elon, we have what you are talking about, a student-run ad and PR agency, and working closely with and starting to work more closely with startups for entrepreneur stuff, and would love to chat with you offline after this. Can you tell me who is that from UMass was talking about the agency, and I'll send you an email this afternoon.
This is Burton Cowden, and the Coleman fellow is BJ Roche.
Can you type in your email in chat?
To Scott Kelly.
And, to Scott Kelly there. Scott Kelly's the one showing up at Elon. And I'll grab your email and we'll talk offline, because we're wrapping in Coleman with our student agency as well. So this could be interesting.
All right, perfect. Yeah, we'll get that in soon.
Right on. We'll shoot you a note either today or early on Monday. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Great. And Burton, what about the other fellows? What are they working on? What are some of the other courses that are being modified to infuse entrepreneurship content?
So Craig Nicholson, who is running here, he's running the Masters for Environmental Conservation and kind of clean energy. And so being able to implement in that master's program the level, kind of an entrepreneurial outlet for that. For Scott Auerbach, he runs our ICONS program, which he can talk a whole lot about, I'm sure. But essentially it's a program from the sciences to give them kind of different tracks to focus on, and so the goal there is to add an entrepreneurial track for the scientists on campus.
Okay. What about, go ahead.
And for Betsy from Public Policy, there's a element of social enterprise, but for profit, and we are working with a few kind of external things. Most of you probably don't know Amherst, but it has a per capita of for-profit social enterprises, and some that we are trying to build into the curriculum to offer kind of a triple bottom line type feel, but yet still very much for-profit and adding to the GDP.
Okay. Great. Are there any other updates from other schools that you would like to share with the community? Any update from DePaul or SLU or TCU?
Okay.
Joe, I can give an update.
Go ahead.
This is Georgianne. And I'd love any input from anybody. We're trying to put together an idea challenge, like once a month, where we get everybody from across campus. If anybody has any things that they do for an idea challenge, like I'm thinking once we'll do like a sustainability problem and have them work on that. One time we did it with just 3 columns of random words, and they had to put them together for a business. But if anybody has anything that's worked on their campus, I'd love to hear about it.
Georgianne, SLU does a phenomenal challenge every year. They do 2 or 3, actually. Jerry can probably share some information with you on that. So, and I'll send you a link on a couple of other schools that do that. And you say you're doing this once a month?
That's
Are you thinking about it?
That was the plan. I wanted to do it weekly, but I understand that I probably can't pull that off. So I think I'm going to try once a month and do it interdisciplinary, so all the fellows can send some people from their different classes. So I think it'll work. I'm hoping.
Sure. I mean, and this is this is part of a class, or this is something that's extracurricular?
It's just something for fun, extracurricular, because I'm crazy.
Okay. DePaul?
Hi, this is Julie Lawton here at DePaul. I'm in the law school, and so what we'll be doing this year in conjunction with the Coleman Center for Entrepreneurship is we have taken 2 small businesses as clients to expose the law students to being lawyers to small businesses. So one of them is a startup, so we're going to help them get incorporated, draft bylaws, help them get running. Another is an existing small business that's been in existence for a couple of years, drafting some contracts, advising on some other small business matters. So it's great. The students are really excited about it, and they're having fun with the client. The other thing is I've decided to add in, I think it's the Lean In challenge that we did at the workshop or the conference here in Chicago. It's going to be the last day of class in this semester, and I'm pretty excited. I've not done it before. I've sort of prepped the students for it. They're pretty excited. It should be a good experience.
And the students are actually working on a specific legal issue or in general?
They're on specific legal issues. So both clients came in with legal needs. One of them is incorporation, so they have to decide on choice of form. We have to talk with them about liability issues. We have to draft their bylaws for them. And the other client needed contract drafting and some negotiation done. So it gives the students experience in working with small businesses and trying to distinguish the legal needs of a small business versus a larger business or another type of corporation or another type of organization.
Okay. And do the clients actually pay for this, or is it part of a course for a grade? How is it structured?
So the legal clinic is a course that's offered as part of the law school. Think of it like a legal version of a medical residency. It's a year-long course, so the students are working with actual clients on real legal issues under my supervision. We have 8 students. Because it's pretty labor intensive. It's an 8 credits for the year. So the clients that we're working with are people that came through the Coleman Center in our business school And so they've already been prepped and having some background on, so they're not just walking off the street with an idea. These are real clients with real legal issues. And so they are actual clients of the legal clinic.
Wonderful, great. Thank you. Are any other schools working on anything unique and interesting that they want to share? Any other comments or questions?
This is Tom from Lawrence Tech.
You have to wave your...
Yes, go ahead, Tom.
Some folks might be interested. This is my first year as a fellow. I normally teach freshman programming, and so this semester I have first semester freshmen doing a encryption system. They actually reproduced the German Enigma World War II encryption system as their project in their first semester in college in the C programming language, which is no mean feat, I might add. But where Coleman gave me a good idea was, well, why don't I also turn this into an entrepreneurship project? Have them begin to think about how they can use an encryption system that they're developing as a business opportunity. So that's turning quite fun. I've just actually sent them the challenge to take an encrypted message and hide it inside a picture of themselves as kind of an idea of a way to begin to communicate with other students in a way that their messages are entirely hidden, and think about, can that kind of thing be actually adapted for the legal marketplace or this or that. But anyway, it's kind of fun. In fact, it's a lot of fun to sort of take a technical project like that and right away get students to think about, how do I convert knowledge into a business? How do I monetize my work, if you will? But anyway, that's been kind of fun this fall. Thanks.
That's great. That's great. Thank you for sharing. Jihi, go ahead, Jihi. Canisius? Okay.
Hi,
let's go
this
to
is Andy Hansel from Lawrence Tech also.
Yeah.
I've got a project going right now, which is a project we call Pocket Park, and it's a design of a park that's meant to fight, and we're approaching it from the standpoint of not unlike Habitat for Humanity. So we would end up finding the components, the apparatus, and then we would set this thing as a partnership and a partial business to go into neighborhood associations, bring the templates and the tools and the
You're cutting out, so we're having some audio issues. Diane, you had a comment. We'll come back to you, Lawrence Tech. Diane?
Yes, here at UNCG for the first time we've partnered with the Piedmont Angel Network here in Greensboro, which is, they have 3 or 4 different funding groups where they actually, they're people that fund startups and growing businesses, and we're partnering with the Collegiate Entrepreneurs Organization here on campus, and they're actually having their major pitch by these businesses here on campus November 10th from 6 to 7. They're going to have a reception before that. So we're hoping to get a lot of the fellows involved in the classes. So it's November 10th at 6 p.m.
Wonderful. Please share that with a fellow site if you can, or put some, if you have any images, or put it on the Twitter. DePaul, did you have a comment?
Hello, this is Brian, and I teach global tourism for our School of Hospitality Leadership. And my approach is utilizing a TripAdvisor as sort of as a research tool, and I'm encouraging students to utilize it for idea generation. There's a really interesting study that was just published yesterday through eHotelier, and essentially it ranked all hotels, top luxury hotels, simply based upon TripAdvisor. So with that knowledge, we're having the students use TripAdvisor to data mine some of the feedback, some of the negative feedback, so we can identify some pains that different organizations are having. And then the final project for students is to take that pain, that problem, and come up with a solution from an entrepreneurial perspective. And their final presentations will be using the business model canvas They have to present the research, name the problems that they've discovered on TripAdvisor, come up with the solution, and whatever their product is, they will present it using the business model Canvas. So that will be phase one. That will happen this quarter. Once I'm a little more knowledgeable of the process and generate some data from our students, we'll then leverage that to industry, as well as the report that the research has already been published, so that we can help some local companies raise or build up their TripAdvisor feedback, and having students actually position in different places across the city, because what we find is that sometimes consumers just don't engage in certain locations. So we're really trying to help students leverage those opportunities of data through TripAdvisor.
Great, thank you. TCU?
Hi, my name is Nick. I teach new media art at TCU, and for my Coleman stipend fellowship, I purchased 2 old sticker vending machines that were going to be fabricating student stickers and selling them on campus.
Wow, cool.
So
okay.
It's a lot of fun, and all the money will kind of stay within the system, so there's not really any profits, which the school likes since we're selling things. So it's a loophole where all the profits will just buy more stickers and fill more machines. And so we're hoping to upgrade to larger vending machines where we could sell small art objects or USB drives with video art, projects like that.
Wonderful, thank you. And I'm sure there are several really unique projects going on throughout the Fellows Network and the community of practice. And please feel free to share those, post a blurb on the website, and if you have if you are at an event where the fellows are, feel free to take a couple of pictures on your iPhone or mobile, whatever device you have, and post it to the Twitter feed that we have on the site, so we can show that there is a lot of things going on, and we want to celebrate that. Rosa, did you have a comment or a question?
Hi, Joe. This is Clark. Good morning, everyone. Nice to see everybody on the call today. I wanted to ask the community something based on a conversation that I had, and if you want to respond to this request, feel free to do so offline. You don't need to respond on this call. But I was meeting with another foundation that supports education choice. They do a lot of funding programs around educational choice. And they are actively seeking entrepreneurs who are interested in launching new schools. And this is an area that they've been working, and they're trying to identify interested people. So if you're a fellow in an education program, or if you otherwise come across individuals who have an interest in launching new schools and becoming an entrepreneur, creating a school, please let me know, and I can connect you and potentially that party to this funding organization. So I just wanted to throw that out to the community. If you're interested in acting on that, probably work through your project director who can get back in touch with me. So no need to respond on the call, but if you have an interest, please follow up. Thanks.
Great opportunity. Thanks for sharing, Clark. And there was another hand up from, okay, I think TCU. DePaul, did you have another comment? Or one of the fellows?
Not at this time.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, in the remaining 15 minutes, I wanted to share with the community the summit feedback survey findings. The summit overall was, I think, a success based on the results, but I want to share this with the community of practice. We had 131 attendees at the summit, and we sent out a link through the directors and broadly to the community, and we had 72 faculty who responded. And what you see on the screen is the respondent distribution from each campus. So any campus that had more than 50% of the faculty respond, yeah, hey, wonderful, thank you for your participation, appreciate it. And those of you who did not get to the 50% point, we still want to thank you for your participation of the survey and giving us your thoughts and feedback. So one of the questions that we asked in the survey is, what is your role in the program? So as you can see, most of the respondents were new or veteran fellows. We had a few, of course, the project directors were part of it. And we had a few assistant directors also who responded to the survey. And this is all the breakdown of the activities on the breakout sessions. And by the way, this is posted, I'll post this in a prominent way to the website as a news item, so if you're interested in reading through all of the responses and all of the open-ended answers, you're more than welcome to do that. And the good news is, this is the visual, this is the graph, but let me go to the actual numbers page here. So the range, so every breakout session that was presented at the summit was evaluated. And the good news is most of the sessions got a 4.3 or 4.1 and above. There are a few sessions that were below the 4-point level, 3.96, 3.7, let me see here. But overall, none of the sessions received a completely negative valuation in that sense. So there is always room for improvement, and when we designed the summit, we worked very hard to bring in a mix of sessions that would engage the community of practice, not only to sort of say this is what entrepreneurship is, this is how it can be taught, but actually get them to interact with each other and figure out a way to make this real for them when they go back on campus. So the next question that we asked was, in your opinion, did the summit bring faculty from across various disciplines as one community of practice? And as you can see on your screens, we had an overwhelming majority say yes. You know, it felt good. We all teach different subjects and teach in different departments. And sometimes even if you teach in the same department, you don't have time that you spend on campus. But most of the attendees felt that they were coming together as a community of practice. And I'm sorry that we have a couple of, actually three respondents felt that they didn't feel that. Hopefully before the end of the year, we'll get them engaged and they would feel part of the community as well. So, and these are the individual responses. So, and I don't want to spend time right now, and you may not even be able to see some of the writing is too small. But this is posted to the site, so if you are interested to read some of the individual responses, feel free to read that. And then if you want to discuss that with, with me, send me an email. I'll be happy to talk to you about it. And again, we are learning and evolving as we go along and trying to make this community of practice really meaningful for every faculty. It's not something that it is, top down. It is something that we want this to be a grassroots effort that faculty own and faculty do on their own. And teaching entrepreneurship, as Jerry pointed out, is really a team effort. It's not, nobody has perfect knowledge, and teaching entrepreneurship is definitely one of those realms where, as a community of practice, I think we can all share and learn from each other. The other question that we were interested in getting a sense of is, did you get a clear understanding of the infusion model? As you can see, most of the attendees did feel that. About 10 respondents said they didn't get a better understanding or a clear understanding of the infusion model. And I would, so if the campus directors, I'm sure, as you engage with their fellows, this will become clear as you go along. And then really the infusion model is a simple approach that says we don't necessarily have to create all new courses and add to the workload of students and add to the credit hours. So if a degree So if it's an undergraduate student and he or she has to get 128 hours to graduate, we don't want them to all of a sudden add 10 more hours to their degree. That's just because we want them to learn entrepreneurship. So that's sort of the thinking behind the infusion model, and it seems to work well. So we are happy to see that majority of the attendees got that. And these are all the individual responses from them. So again, this is posted to the site. I'll be happy to send this PDF also to the directors, so you can share this with your campus faculty there. And the question 7 was, what was the important takeaway? Some really, I read every one of these answers. Some said, I didn't really get too much, but majority said, we got a lot of information from the summit, and here are some of the takeaways. Again, I will send this out to the directors. Feel free to share that with the community, and it'll all be posted on the website. Some very interesting comments. Things like social interaction, teamwork, making waves. The theme of making waves somehow got picked up by a respondent. So there's a lot of information that I really enjoy reading, and definitely Clark and Rosa at the foundation also read this. So the question 8, did you leave the summit with a clear understanding of which course you would modify? And as you can see, 93% of the attendees said yes. We know exactly which course we will modify for the purpose of infusing entrepreneurship content in the coursework. So again, more open-ended answers. I don't have time to go through each one of them at this point, but you can read it on your own. Did the summit provide you with a clear understanding of expectations as to what you need to do as a Coleman Fellow? Again, a majority of the respondents felt that they do have an understanding of what they need to do as a fellow. And my hope is that the ones that did not get a sense of what they need to do will get that clarification from the campus directors as well as the community of practice. And as I'm going through these things, if you have a thought or a comment, please feel free to hit the raise hand button. Again, individual responses from the 72 people who responded to the survey. And what was the best part of the summit? Again, from people who said everything, and some people said the unconference workshop, the video pitch, the marshmallow challenge. So there are a few that said, this could be better, that could have been done better. So we take the good and we look at what we could work on better and improve on. And so we, as a community, I think, can say that, the summit, we brought a lot of people together from really, really disparate and various fields, and we got them to think about entrepreneurship as one common effort. So there is more thoughts on that. Compared to other conferences, this is something that we are always interested in finding out. The good news that I take away from that is, except for one attendee or respondent who said, yeah, it was worse than the other ones that I attended, everybody else said, yeah, it was better, it was clearly better, it was better, and it was not that different. So I take that as a positive, and definitely work on satisfying everybody to make sure that it's a great experience for and then again, these are all individual responses from the people who filled out the questionnaire. And overall, what did you think of the summit? That was the last question of the survey. And nobody thought it was a terrible waste of time, so that's good news. And a number of them thought it was a spectacular experience. A number of, so on a scale of 1 to 10, So you can see the average, weighted average is 5.79. So that is the sort of the highlights, if you would, of the summit. So are there any thoughts or comments that you wanted to share?
Joe, this is Clark.
Yes, Clark.
Yeah, I just want to jump in and try to summarize a little bit what was presented. So, you know, in general, the takeaway here on this last page, this was a 7-point scale, not a 10-point scale. So what you take away is that it's almost 6 out of 7. So the overall review of the summit from attendees, we believe it was really very positive. And then if you go back to what Joe indicated on the session breakouts, on a 5-point scale, most everything was a 4 or better, and there are actually a couple of breakout sessions that were a 4.7 out of 5 that appear to be really valuable material that we can look forward to next year. There were some things that were lower ranked, and we'll work on those. But in general, I think our sense is that the feedback indicated that it was a very positive experience and that attendees got a lot out of the summit. There's a lot of details you saw in the verbatims that were up on the screen that we're going through, that we're mining, that are giving us some guidance on how to improve things going forward. But really our takeaway, and we hope that you would agree with this as a fellow, is that it was a very positive way to kick off the program, and we're now launching into really the meat of the year in the classroom. So thanks again for responding if you had the chance to do that. We really appreciate the feedback, and it was very genuine feedback that you appeared to share with us in the comments, and we have looked at all of those and will continue to do that, and it will have an impact on next year's summit. Thanks.
Thank you, Clark. Any other thoughts or comments that anyone else would like to share?
Joe?
Yes, Tim?
Yeah, we're working on our calendar here, and we were wondering what the dates are for next year's summit.
I don't know that.
What?
I'll jump in, Joe. Tim, that has not been said. Part of the feedback from the survey did provide some suggestions on that. So we want to make sure that we respect that feedback, and we have not set the date for the summit. We do hope that date will be set earlier than it was this year so that you have more preparation, but it hasn't been set yet.
Okay, thank you. That helps. And it's going to be held in Fresno, right?
If you're paying, Tim, it absolutely will, yes.
That's the instrument. Go for it.
Tim wants to pay for it. Well, let's go with it.
The food won't be plentiful, I guarantee that.
Okay. Any other thoughts or questions or comments on the summit? Okay. If not, I wanted to jump to the next item with announcements. Here are the rest of the upcoming coffee hour dates. I have reached out to our summit keynote, and we are going to bring him back during one of the coffee hours. And I think it will be the October one, but we haven't nailed it down yet. So, and the idea is to bring him back and do a follow-up to his keynote that was well received at the summit, and there was a lot of engagement about that. And we are trying to see how we can continue the dialogue and make the conversation even more richer. So that's going to happen probably. If it is not doable in October, definitely November. But then December 18th is for so October and November are all fellows, and December 18th is for directors only. January 22nd and February, March, and April. So please mark your calendars. And usually these are scheduled to be 1-hour sessions. But in case there is a hot topic or a discussion moving along, fine, we may go over that 60-minute timeline. So are there any other, any questions about the dates or the timing or the coffee hours?
Hey, Joe?
Yeah.
So it's, before I thought I saw one on April 1st, so that's now March 25th.
Yeah, what happened was there was a conflict with Good Friday, so we decided to move that. So we don't want to hold a coffee hour on Good Friday. Okay? All right. So if there aren't any other comments or thoughts or questions, we hope that the year is off to a good start, and all of you are starting the semester, and hope the teaching and everything else is going great. We will see you on October 16th at 10 a.m. Chicago time. And if there are tech issues that are preventing you from doing this, I'll reach out to, I have a couple of notes that I took down. I'll reach out to you offline, and we'll do a tech check for the next session. So if there are any other, oh wait, there's a chat from somebody. Oh wait, I'm sorry, my mistake. I think March 25th is Good Friday, so it'll be April 1st. Burton, I'll send out an email, so I got the dates wrong here, my mistake. So March 25th is Good Friday, so we will move it to the next Friday, which will be April 1st. Okay? I think I got this date from the previous email. Okay? So thanks for that, ISU. Thanks for catching that. But I'll send out another email to all the directors with the dates, and it's also posted to the website, and I think the website has the right dates. One other comment, let's see. Tim, did you have another comment or a question? Fresno State?
Yeah. No, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to pay for this.
Okay. Tim, just open your checkbook and write a check.
We recommend it as bonus, right?
Next time I see you, I'll be asking you for money.
Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for your time this morning. We are looking forward to an exciting year, and we'll see all of you online on October 16th. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, there's another.
Bye. Thank you.